You're listening to the Color Country Podcast, your passport to the breathtaking public lands and tourism destinations nestled in southern Utah and northern Arizona. Join host Stephanie DeGraw and her guests.
Hi, and welcome to the Color Country Podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie DeGraw, and today I'm talking with Caroline Weiler. Welcome to our show, Caroline.
Thanks, Stephanie. I'm very excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yes, and why don't you tell everybody what department you're with and your role there?
I am with the Department of Natural Resources, and more specifically, the Division of Outdoor Recreation. So we're a state government entity, kind of adjacent to state parks and wildlife resources, as people are more familiar with those programs. But I work directly for outdoor recreation, and more specifically within outdoor recreation, I'm the Youth Engagement Program Manager. So I manage a few different grant programs that get kids into the outdoors, as well as our very exciting new Every Kid Outdoors Adventure Challenge that I'm here to talk to Stephanie about today.
Wonderful. Caroline, why don't you go ahead and tell us the overall goal of your department and how you've got this Starry Skies Challenge coming up, and that fits into a broader program of Every Kid Outdoors Adventure Challenge, right?
Yeah, great question. So as the name implies, Every Kid Outdoors Adventure Challenge is trying to get as many kids as we can into the state of Utah, outside, recreating, exploring, learning. So the way the challenge works is we've designated 15 different adventure challenges that will be completed throughout the year in a variety of ways. To start off the year, we had a big kickoff up in Mill Creek Common where we had free ice skating for about 400 kids, followed closely by a cross-country ski event at Soldier Hollow. And then we did free bouldering for a bunch of kids at 10 different climbing gyms across the state. So we've been really excited to partner with an amazing myriad of organizations providing free outdoor recreation opportunities for our participants. And then that leads us into the month of April, which is Dark Skies Month, which is really exciting. There's tons of star parties that are going on across the state with libraries and the planetariums. And we wanted to get on board and host one of our own down in Kanab, kind of near your neck of the woods, but the CoralPink Sand Dunes State Park. And so there we're going to host 50 kids, and they're going to have a chance to, with the help of Stellar Vista Observatory, look at the starry sky, hopefully see some constellations. And then we're also partnering with Rome Adventures to do some sandboarding. So to take the kids sliding down the sand dunes, followed by some s'mores. So starry skies, sandboarding, s'mores, and alliteration to get kids excited about the dark sky.
Well, that certainly would have excited me if I was a kid. It kind of makes me want to do it now. I'm not a kid, but I feel like someone sometimes.
All of our events are fun for all ages. We're focusing on the kids, but I think it'll be fun for everybody.
So why did you guys pick the Pink Coral Sand Dunes for this event? It's such a cool little place.
Have you been there? Have you spent time there? I have never been there, and so I'm really excited as this is my first time going. It was twofold reasons, I think. The first is that the Division of Outdoor Recreation is hosting our Utah Trails Forum down in Kanab the same week. So we're busy with event planning all year, but this week was especially busy where we were trying to do a star party and this Trails Forum where we get 200 to 300 trail advocates all together. And so we thought, what can we combine these events if we're already going to be down in Kanab? And CoralPink Sand Dunes is a designated dark sky park. And so it made sense for us to partner up with them, our sister agency at state parks, and see if we could host the event just the day after our Trails Forum ends. So we're hoping that, if somebody attends a Trails Forum, maybe it encourages them to stay one extra night in Kanab and check out the sand dunes just 30 minutes outside of town.
For those listeners who maybe don't know what the dark sky is and why it's so important to even preserve a dark sky or celebrate a dark sky, what does that even mean?
Yeah, that's a great question. And we're super fortunate to partner with Utah State University Extension Program. Lisa Stoner up at the university has been a critical part of our Every Kid Outdoor committee, advising us on the importance of dark skies and preserving them. So she's been helpful in hosting webinars, talking about lighting that places can use to make sure that you're keeping the dark sky what it is, which is this amazing experience to kind of recognize, I guess, the vastness of our world and appreciate quiet and stillness. And I think these moments that we're going to have with the kids after they've had kind of a rambunctious evening of sandboarding and s'mores, maybe to have a still moment to appreciate the dark sky and what that means and kind of give them a moment of reflection. I'm excited as well because I don't think I've done personally a lot of dark sky viewing, and to see these telescopes where you can really, really see what's going on up there, I think is going to be a new experience for a lot of people.
That will definitely be amazing. I know just I'm in awe whenever I can get outside the city and go see the stars in the sky when it's so dark. We forget as city dwellers often that there's all these beautiful stars up there and galaxies, and it does make you stop and kind of reflect. So, your program, in addition to this event, you've got a lot of other free or low cost outdoor experiences for Utah families. Maybe if you want to talk a little bit more about that, and how do people find out about some of this?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge we faced in rolling out the EKO Adventure Challenge is just the demand that we've seen has been more than we can provide, right? If we have an event that only can host 50 people and we have 200 people that want to come, make sure that we are directing them to different events throughout the state. So the biggest thing that we've tried to do recently is partner with other organizations and kind of create hubs across the state where a city or a school could become an Every Kid Outdoor adventure city or school. So, for example, like I mentioned, the Clark Planetarium, they're doing solar and star parties. So they've got these incredible pieces of equipment where you can actually look at the sun during midday without hurting your
Wow.
eyes and get to see the intricate details of the sun. So we're advertising those events. We're partnering with climbing gyms or other organizations that want to do programming throughout the summer. And so we're kind of pushing people in a variety of ways to show there's tons of things to do. And we're just kind of the hub to collect those resources and then disperse people where they're interested.
Let's talk about the greater impact too of just getting these kids outside and off their phones, off of the games on the television. What do you hope that the children kind of develop once they start going outside to some of these events?
Yeah, I think it's no secret that being outside is so good for our mental health. There's lots of studies done that even 5 minutes in an urban environment of getting outside and seeing the blue sky and the fresh air is so much better for our mental health. It helps against ADHD and maybe attention issues in the classroom. I was recently at the eye doctor, and he told me, this was a new one that I didn't know, that just looking a long distance away and having the sun on your face and in your eyes is really healthy for the development of your eyes. And he's seen more nearsightedness now as an optometrist than he has ever seen before because we're so close, glued to our screen. So I think obviously the mental benefits are there, but there's so many intricate physical benefits of just today we were talking with a climbing gym about climbing being kind of like this physical literacy and learning how your body moves and learning how to balance and to stretch. So we're just hoping that all these events can be catalysts to get kids excited about different opportunities, staying healthy mentally, emotionally, and socially. It's great to get out with your friends and try something new.
Oh, definitely. And I was thinking too that maybe when they go outdoors to some of these places like the CoralPink sand dunes, it might be the only time they really would have gone there because you gave them a reason to go. Otherwise, a lot of times families kind of fall back into the default of just sticking around the house all weekend, glued to their TVs or their televisions. And so it's so great to hear you guys are offering some alternatives for these families to go out and explore and learn about places they maybe wouldn't have known about.
Yeah, 100%. And I think for me, you want to protect and preserve and be a good steward over a place that you're familiar with. So as we see some of our places under threat for development, and I think it's really important for the kids to understand what that means and to say, oh, I had a cool experience at this location. I want to protect it. I want to be a good steward over the land and preserving it for future generations. So I think there's obviously just so many benefits. And like you said, to just expose them to something different and new is what we're hoping for.
That's great. And I know too that, looking at a place on television or reading about it in the book. As you know, it's not the same as getting out there and really feeling the wind on your face and getting your feet dirty and just
Yeah,
experiencing it with all of your senses. It's just
totally.
such an amazing opportunity. And do you have some other goals that you are going to try and implement this next year or two for the program?
Yeah, that's a great question. There are guiding principles that our department and our division wants us to kind of carry out as stewards of the Utah, people. We want to make sure that we're providing good experiences for those. And the two goals that we have kind of moving forward are going to be around safety messaging and stewardship. So there's so many events that we're going to be doing and hosting and introducing new activities around water and rocks and animals. One of our activities is observing wildlife and how do you stay safe around the wildlife we have here in Utah. So we're going to be working on some safety campaigns, some safety messaging going forward. And then also, like I mentioned, the stewardship aspect of it, where encouraging cleanups on the areas that we recreate in and education about the right way to travel and recreate in certain areas. So those are our two kind of main goals. And then the rest is just to increase the amount of youth that we get to our programs. We've seen a really good demand thus far. Every event fills up within like 24 hours of us opening it, which is a
Wow.
good problem to have. Yeah.
Yes.
And so just continuing to increase our offerings and our partnerships.
Okay. And if a family wants to kind of plan ahead, what website should they go to look at these events that you're offering?
Yeah, recreation.utah.gov is our division's website. And then there's a tab, Every Kid Outdoors. And if you click on that, you can see not only our DOR sponsored events upcoming, but we have a new community calendar where, like we've mentioned, these star parties or other programs that are going on, stewardship, cleanup events, races, movie nights, things that are encouraging kids to get outside. And there's a myriad of calendar invites that you can also look at on our website.
That's wonderful. And it sounds like, too, maybe some of the people out there that maybe are a part of organizations could reach out to you and coordinate for some more activities. Would you guys be open to that?
Of course. Yes, we're open to any and all partnerships with the mission of getting kids into the outdoors. So definitely.
Excellent. Anything else you want to add before we wrap up?
No, thanks for the opportunity, Stephanie. I just want to, if anyone's interested in learning more about our program, like I mentioned, our website is the best place to go. We do have a monthly newsletter that will go out at the middle of each month, kind of looking at what's ahead and recapping what we've done, and a great place for resources if parents or organizations are interested. So definitely a plug for that.
Definitely. People should sign up for your newsletter. Then they'll always know what's going on. Well, thank you so much, Caroline, for being our guest on the Color Country podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie DeGraw.
You've been listening to the Color Country podcast. Enjoy your public lands and remember to leave no trace.